You wake up in ancient Egypt. The priest is standing over you with ceremonial oils. This is not a massage. They're preparing you for the master's bed. They're calling this blessed. You're not entirely sure what's blessed about being genderless property, whose body is available to literally everyone in the household who outranks you, which is everyone. But the pyramids are impressive, so there's that. Your master uses you. His sons use you. Visiting relatives use you. The law doesn't call this rape because you're not legally a person. You're a thing, like a chair, but with more responsibilities. If you're extremely lucky, you become a concubine. Get your own room, some jewelry. If you're not, you're just there. Used, aging, replaced. Fast forward to Islamic Egypt. Now there's a system. You're categorized by skin color. White slaves from Circassia, expensive. Black slaves from Sudan, cheaper. The trans-Saharan slave trade keeps the supply steady. You're marched across the Sahara. People drop dead from thirst every day. You make it. Congratulations. Now you get to spend 40 years in a harem competing with 200 other women for a man who might glance at you once. Let's try Imperial China. You're a concubine to the emperor now. Silk robes, jade hairpins, the Forbidden City. Except there are 9,000 other women here. Yes, 9,000. The emperor physically cannot sleep with all of you. The math doesn't work. So you wait and wait. Your feet have been bound since you were 6. Broken, folded, wrapped until they're 3 inches long. Golden lotuses, they call them. You can't walk, which means eunuchs have to carry you naked to the emperor's bed, because nothing says romance like being hauled around like a sack of rice. If you catch his attention, maybe you get pregnant. Maybe the empress poisons you before any of that happens. Hard to say. Ming law made 0 provisions to stop anyone in the household from using you sexually. The master, his brothers, his sons, the visiting diplomat from Mongolia. Your communal property. Your body isn't yours. Feudal Japan sounds better, right? Geishas, tea ceremonies, cherry blossoms. Cool. You're not a geisha. You're a slave. The Portuguese show up in the 1500s and ship you to Lisbon. Age 14, you're exotic, popular, dead of syphilis in a brothel before you're 20. Or, if you're really unlucky, you're born 4 centuries later. Now you're a comfort woman. The Japanese military shows up with flyers. Factory work, good wages, support your family. You believe them. Mistake. The factory is a wooden shack with a mattress and a line of soldiers outside. 20 men a day, every single day. You get gonorrhea in the first week. Syphilis in the first month. After the war, you go home. Your village pretends you don't exist. You spend 70 years asking for an apology. Japan says sorry in 2015, then retracts it. You think, maybe ancient Greece? If you're a girl, you're trained as a hetera, a high-class prostitute, or just a regular prostitute if your face isn't quite right. If you're a boy, you're a pedika. He takes you to the gymnasium, rubs oil on your skin, f***s you between the thighs while discussing Plato. This is considered very philosophical. Your owner has unlimited sexual access to you. It's a property right. Like milking a cow, the law protects you from other people damaging his property. It does not protect you from him. But at least there's democracy. The Aztec Empire looks at all this and says, not religious enough. You're captured during a flower war between city-states. You're given to a warrior as a prize. A wife, they call it. You don't get a ceremony. You don't get a choice. You're his property now. For sex, for labor, for whatever he wants. If you're lucky, you bear him a son. Maybe that son inherits something. Maybe you gain status. If you're not, you're just another slave woman in a society that has thousands. The Aztec nobility keep multiple wives and countless concubines. You're in the second category. And if you're really unlucky, you're selected for ritual service. Given to the Tlatoani as a sacred concubine before a festival. 1 month of being used by the most powerful man in the empire. Then sacrificed to the gods. Because in Aztec logic, your body serves 2 purposes, sexual and spiritual. Both belong to men with power. The Spanish arrive, see this, and think, not Catholic enough. They don't stop the slavery. They don't stop the abuse. They just add Jesus to it. Now you're being violated and told your soul is damned. Ancient Rome saw Greece and said, "Hold my wine. We can make this efficient." Rich Romans own hundreds of slaves, thousands if you're wealthy. You're one of them. Scrubbing floors, raising children, cooking, and sex. Obviously, sex. Roman law is explicit. Slaves can be subjected to sexual exploitation, torture, and summary execution. You have no rights. If you're a woman, you're used until your looks fade, then sold off. If you're a man kept for sex, you're a concubiness. The shame isn't on your master for f***ing you. It's on you for being the passive one, for being weak. Ancient India has layers. Regular slave, concubine, standard. But if you're a devadasi, you're married to the goddess. Sounds spiritual. What it actually means? Your parents sold you to a temple when you were 6. You're dedicated to the deity. You can never marry a mortal. When you hit puberty, your virginity is auctioned off to the highest bidder. After that, you serve as priests, rich patrons, whoever pays. The Vikings keep it simple. Raid, kill the men, take the women. You're in your garden in Ireland when the longships appear. Your husband grabs an axe, runs toward the beach. He's dead in 30 seconds. You're dragged onto a ship with 40 other women. The annals of Ulster will record this as securing a great booty of women. Booty, you're sold at a market in Dublin. A Norse farmer buys you for 3 cows. The law, gragas, explicitly says a man can purchase a slave specifically for sexual pleasure. You live in the back of his longhouse with the goats. Your body is available whenever he wants, always. Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization. Also, the cradle of writing slavery into law. The Code of Hammurabi, 1750 BC. If your master's wife is infertile, she can hand you over as a surrogate. You don't get a say. If you give birth to a son, you might be freed. If not, you stay property. The highest position a female slave can achieve. Childbearing concubine. Lowest, prostitute. They carved this into a 7-foot stone pillar 4,000 years ago. It's in the Louvre now. You can visit it. Take a selfie. Post it to Instagram. Humanity's oldest written record of treating women as livestock. Hashtag Throwback Thursday. The Ottoman Empire looked at 4,000 years of sexual slavery and thought, let's professionalize this. The imperial harem at Topkapi Palace. Hundreds of concubines. Organized by rank. Managed by the Valide Sultan. You're kidnapped from Circassia when you're 12. Fair skin, high cheekbones, expensive. You're shipped to Istanbul. Sold, trained, Turkish, music, dance, court etiquette. How to pour tea without sound. How to walk without footsteps. How to disappear while standing in a room. You're dressed in silk that whispers when you move. Given jewelry that catches lamplight. The Sultan has 400 women. Maybe he notices you. Maybe you bear him a son. Maybe you gain power. Or maybe you spend 40 years in the harem and die in a back room, forgotten, never having been chosen even once. The system runs for 6 centuries. It's not cruelty, it's administration. Then comes World War II. The Japanese military creates comfort stations across Asia. 200,000 women. Most don't survive. The ones who do spend 70 years fighting for acknowledgement. They're in their 90s now, still fighting.